Welcome! Welcome to a brand new age of video game reviews. Welcome to the grand debut of the Allie-RX Show, starring yours truly. Today's review is Transformers War for Cybertron for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC. For this review, I'm going to review the PC version, since I don't have the PS3 version anymore. Now, throughout the past couple of decades, we've seen Transformers games that have been not so great. And it's sad because I'm a huge Transformers fan. Some games were decent, others were just downright terrible, like the infamous Transformers Convoy no Nazo. But we never had one really good Transformers game. One that made us really want it. One that screamed, "Please, buy me now!" That was until 2010, when Transformers War for Cybertron came out. Developed by High Moon Studios, War for Cybertron destroys every other Transformers game of the past and makes us all forget about the horrible memories of Convoy no Nazo. So how good is it? Let's find out. So the story of Transformers War for Cybertron takes place during the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons on Cybertron, hence the name. This game sets up all the events as to why the Autobots and Decepticons are fighting, how Optimus Prime became a leader, and other events that transpire. Now, I don't want to spoil anything because the game is fairly recent, and good games like this should not be spoiled if you haven't played them yet. Anyway, the campaign has a total of 10 chapters. The first 5 chapters cover the Decepticon campaign, while the last 5 chapters cover the Autobot campaign. And depending on the chapter you select, you get to choose between 3 random Autobots or 3 random Decepticons. Optimus Prime and Megatron are usually the leaders in their respective campaigns, but everyone else is random, like Bumblebee, Ironhide, Starscream, Soundwave, Jetfire, and more. The campaign is amazing. I love just about everything the campaign has to offer. This is how most Transformers games should be. An epic third-person shooter between the Autobots and Decepticons, shooting, killing, annihilating each other until one side comes out on top to claim Cybertron. This game kicks so much ass. And like I said earlier, there's an abundance of characters from each side to play as. Obviously you can't go wrong with the leaders Optimus Prime and Megatron, especially Megatron with his badass cannon that blasts everything instantly. And Optimus Prime, well, he's freaking Optimus Prime! He's got a giant axe! I also love playing as the Jet Transformers like Jetfire, Air Raid, Silverbolt, Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp because you have infinite ammo while you're in your transform state. Too bad these guys are only playable in a couple of chapters. Other great characters include Bumblebee and Sideswipe, who are pretty fast in their vehicle modes. Each character has their own unique weapons. Not only that, but you can also swap weapons with another one you pick up on the ground. This is very important because there's many kinds of enemies to kill. Ground, vehicle, sky, and these giant motherfuckers right here. Which, by the way, have very useful weapons after you kill them. And if you run out of ammo, just smack the shit out of your enemies and they'll die instantly. Unless it's a brute. Then you gotta keep hitting him in the back. The graphics are awesome. They're very immersive and they truly capture the atmosphere of Cybertron. Other reviewers say the level designs are repetitive, but I disagree. Those who say so don't get how Cybertron is supposed to be. And the characters are well designed too, especially Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. Michael Bay should really take notes because his movies have the fuggliest looking Decepticons. They should look more like the Decepticons here. The cutscenes and voice acting are fantastic too. Peter Cullen does the voice of Optimus Prime, so he needs no introduction because he is Optimus Prime.
One shall stand.
But everyone else did a great job voicing their characters as well. Johnny Young Bosch of Power Rangers fame did the voice of Bumblebee, and I like the new voice of Megatron.
I am the Dominator. I am the Destroyer. I am Megatron!
It's not as good as David Kay's voice of Megatron, though. And yes, guys, I do prefer David Kay's Megatron over Frank Welker's Megatron. Deal with it. I also love some of the G1 references in the game. Here are some examples.
First we crack this sack, then we crack the nuts inside!
Ball Weep, Grogna Weep, Ninny Bomb. What was that? That's the universal greeting.
The music is badass. Have a listen to two of my favorite tracks in the game. Now is that badass or what? I think it's safe to say that I pretty much covered the campaign without spoiling anything. Overall, the campaign is freaking awesome. And I've played through it countless times. It's not too long, but it's definitely worth playing more than once. But how is the multiplayer? Unfortunately, this was the feature that I was most disappointed with. Sure, it has some cool modes like Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, and so on, and you can customize the Autobots and Decepticons with different colors, weapons, and more. But when I played online, there wasn't a whole lot of players. In fact, the only mode with an abundance of players was Team Deathmatch, and even that didn't have enough players. Every other mode was practically dead. Most of the time, I was running around looking for somebody to kill, or somebody to kill me, and it was pretty boring most of the time. I got lucky a few times, but overall, the multiplayer was pretty boring. I guess it's only fun when you're playing with friends, but none of my Steam friends at the moment have this game. Maybe it's because Fall of Cybertron just came out, and that game has more players online. But I've read a couple of other reviews from 2010, and they also complain about the lackluster online. So it seems this has been a problem for quite a while. Also, if you play the PC version, you'll notice that the frame rate is locked at 30 FPS. But thankfully there is a exe file you can open to unlock the FPS to 60. So yeah, this is Transformers War for Cybertron. A Transformers game made for fans, by fans. If you haven't played it yet, I strongly recommend picking this game up. And pick up the sequel, Fall of Cybertron, as well. I'll review Fall of Cybertron sometime later. I just picked it up not too long ago during a Steam sale, and I still need to play it. So don't spoil me. I give Transformers War for Cybertron a gold. There are other versions of Transformers War for Cybertron on the Wii and Nintendo DS, but those versions are completely different. I never played those, but from what I've heard, they're not very good. And this doesn't surprise me at all because the Wii always gets the scaled down versions of multiplats. So that was the first episode of the Allie-RX Show. Now I want your opinion. Do you think this review was great? Do you think it could be better? Or do you hate it so much that you want awful games back? Let me know what you guys think, and if you really love this review, make sure you share it with your friends so that others can enjoy. Tune in next time when I review WWE 13. I'm Allie-RX, and I tell it like it is.